When God calls you to high ticket coaching, when God pulls back the curtain in your heart, and the Holy Spirit reveals to you your calling, your mission, the faith work you're here to do in the world, what does that look like? When you want to create a simple, profitable coaching business that wraps around your beautiful life. Is it another formula, another strategy, mastermind system, funnel, script? In the prosperous woman, my invitation is always to slow down, way down, to slow down and to speed up, slow down to speed up, because a goal is not something that we get to. It's a place to come from. It's already done because Jesus said so. Hello, beautiful, and welcome to Moms in Sales. When women come into the prosperous world and we're working together and God made women millionaires, the focus is not on the profits. You're going to make profits. It's not on the money. Of course, you're going to make money. At some point, you're going to make so much money, it's still not going to be enough. And there's going to be the empty space in your heart that only God can fill. So we start with God and the identity of who He says we are. That is what makes the high ticket coach. And then we look to see, do we really need more skills and strategies that are going to target an external change in our behavior? Or do we need to slow down and create that internal shift, that internal transformation that's going to reflect out in who we be, in who we choose to work with, and how we charge to work for our prices, for how much we charge to work with our clients, in what we say to our clients in our messaging, because your messaging flows different when you come from already done. Your messaging flows different when you're not trying to fix or self-improve something. Your messaging flows different when you're speaking only to the person it's meant for. Your messaging flows different when you're not seeking validation outside of you because you're already complete, it's already done. Jesus said you're already loved and whole, and you already have all the worthiness you're ever going to need for the work He's called you to. So when we start from the place of already complete, and we're not looking outside of ourselves for someone to give us permission, we're not looking for our joy and our freedom for something outside of us, for someone to do something, then we will be X. For somebody to say something, then we're X. For somebody to give us something, then we're Y. When we already XYZ complete. And we're not waiting for another strategy because the strategy is already in us. We are the how. We are the permission, and we are the validation we're seeking. How do we create that offer? That business model that wraps around our life in the most loving, most gentle, most kind, most compassionate way. How do we see ourselves where we see our children? How do we show up and serve? When you start with identity and start with who God says you are, you midwife all the gifts God has given you for the specific offer, for the specific person. Your messaging is 90% of your high ticket sales. When you show up as complete and whole, you don't do mass messaging. You don't dilute the messaging. You don't deem your light to be 20% of your coach or 50% of your mastermind. You show up whole and complete. You don't charge 30% of the full value of your work. You charge 100%. So the value of your work is $250,000. You don't stuff it into a $25K package because that is disrespectful to your clients. It's disobedient to who God has called you to be and the work He has called you to do, for the fruits of the labor that you're going to gain, that are going to be the blessing in the word for the people He has put you here to bless. Don't cheat God or yourself. It's disobedience. Don't distract yourself with low ticket offers. It's disobedience if that's not what God has called you to do. These days, we don't have Jonah and the whale. So no whale is going to come swallow you because you've been disobedient. But you won't reach the fullness of your destiny and who God says you are. The people who need what you have are not going to get it. You're going to distract yourself with other clients who you don't need to be working with. And they're going to lose. So what a high ticket coach does is not run to the fastest formula, run to the fastest funnel. You are the funnel. Midwife the offer. And if you say, well, Mimi, where do I get this offer? How do I even midwife this offer that's my highest value offer? Because right now I have a 50K offer. Maybe I have a 30K offer or 25K offer. Then go to momsinsales.com and download the playbook where you midwife. We partner with God and you midwife using His word in you to sell. So you midwife the offer that He's asking you to midwife, not the one you think will sell, not the one that your guru said is trending, not the one that everybody in your mastermind is selling, the offer that God has for you, through you, for His people. Go to momsinsales.com and download the playbook and midwife that offer. And then price it at the full lifetime value, not a percentage of it. And when you start to message it, identify what is most important to the person that's going to buy this, about this result. What is most important to them? What is most valuable to them about getting this result? What do they care about the most about having this result? What matters to them the most about having this result? Because that's the language you're going to speak to them so they understand you and they say to you, oh my God, how does she know this is what I care about the most? How does she know this matters to me? How is she speaking to me? How is she in my head? How did she know? And that's when she's going to raise her hand to ask for the sale. And then when she gets on the sales conversation with you, it's not a script. It's you asking her the questions, the clarifying questions that support her to trust herself, to say yes to herself. Because you become a trusted partner, not a coach. Not someone trying to make her buy or get her to buy, but someone who's part of her victory team, who's supporting her to win in her career, in her business, in her life, in her relationship, in her marriage, in her parenting, in her sleep, in her sex life, in her whatever it is that you're coaching on. That is, people say to me, what is a high-ticket coach? That is what high-ticket coaching is. It's you showing up at the highest level to support at the highest level. Because when you show up complete, you attract people who are self-led and show up complete. When you show up with a full value, you attract people who want all of what God has for them. When you show up and love yourself and be kind and gentle with yourself and not look outside yourself for the permission or the validation, because it's already done, it's already sold, it's already complete, it is finished because Jesus said so, simply because He said so. And you have that faith and conviction in the results you're co-creating with God. How can He not show in the offer, pricing, packaging, messaging, positioning, marketing, and sales? Let me know how this lands for you.